In this video we are going to talk about top 5 internet technology predictions for 2022. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Once again, as another year draws to a close, it's time for the most dreaded of all internet media articles, the year-end predictions article. In many cases, predictions about the near future of internet technology are made from the point of view of the developers involved. Due to the rapidity with which things change in the IT business, and the befuddling lack of logic that often characterizes it, making predictions is particularly perilous. Who would have predicted that the term Web3 would become the most popular phrase in 2021? In a year, not even the most bullish cryptocurrency venture capitalist could have expected this. The face of Web3 at a 16Z, Chris Dixon, did not use the term on Twitter until July 2021. Who would have thought that a company would develop a metallic ball that analyzes people's eyes and then rewards them in cryptocurrency? Apparently, no one. The year 2021 was a frenzy of activity. In the spirit of the year 2021, we're going to include at least one wild science fiction prediction in our 2022 list. Make an attempt to determine which one it is. Number 5. Serverless will join containers as a mainstream dev practice. Netlify's Laurie Voss predicted that serverless functions will become ubiquitous in 2022 in his predictions for the Jamstack conference in London. Among the findings, he said, was that an astonishing 46% of developers revealed that they are employing serverless services in at least some of their projects. Serverless functions will be up there with containers and microservices as a common development technique, according to Voss, who predicts that this proportion will climb to more than 50% by next year. In other words, the year 2022 could mark a watershed moment in the evolution of serverless computing, possibly heralding the beginning of the cloud computing revolution. Analyst Simon Wardley drew a fantastic diagram to depict the trend of serverless computing over the next decade. It is as follows, according to the map. Practically everything in computing will have been abstracted away by 2030, with serverless computing being one of the few tangible things that will remain. Number 4. A new responsiveness metric for Google's core Web Vitals. Now, let's talk about something a little more mundane, but nevertheless critical to the continued health of the internet. In 2021, Google's recommendations for web developers and publishers, known as Core Web Vitals, became an important component of its search ranking algorithm. The CWV is comprised of 3 major components: the most contented paint company, LCP, delay between the first and second inputs, FID, layout shift in cumulative form, CLS. As Alex Russell, a partner program manager on Microsoft Edge and previously a senior programmer on Google Chrome, puts it, some web development tools and frameworks are promising speed while failing to deliver on that promise. As a result, he anticipates that a new gauge for responsiveness will be introduced in the near future. In 2022 or 2023, he isn't sure if this will be the case, but even the preview of what they're working on is going to continue to modify the messaging that CIOs offer to consumers and adjust spending correspondingly, he explained. This will have a particular influence on the FID measurement, which, according to Russell, was already known to be problematic at the time of CWV's debut. As Google strives to correct the problem, he asserted, it will leave a lot less opportunity for frameworks that play games or attempt to justify poor outcomes. Number 3. A new metaverse startup will launch in 2022 and usurp Meta. The launch of Doppel, a new metaverse social network that has been operating in secret for the preceding 2 years, is scheduled for 2022. The inside scoop is as follows: new virtual reality headgear with a price tag of less than $100, as well as a spectacular 3D virtual world, are set to cause a sensation and herald the beginning of the end for metaverse technology as we know it, completely web-based. Millions of users will sign up within months, spurred by a fear of losing out on the latest trend and a big exodus of TikTok influencers from other social media sites. In a year's time, the Doppelverse will be home to many 100,000 of people every day, and they will all be traveling invert asterisk to work and play there. Immersion in a virtual environment is referred to as invert. As an analogy, consider invert as the virtual reality equivalent of the internet. When the Doppel effect occurs, the stock price of Meta will collapse as a result of what experts refer to as the double effect. Facebook will witness a large fall in the number of daily active users as individuals increasingly spend all of their time on Doppel. Number 2. Apple will end its browser engine ban on iOS. As we discussed in our piece on the most important stories of 2021, Apple is coming under growing pressure in the area of mobile browsers. The Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, of the United Kingdom launched a market inquiry into mobile ecosystems in June, with a special focus on Apple and Google, and it released an interim report this month, detailing the findings of the study. The Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, issued a statement in response to Apple's browser ban. As a result of the WebKit restriction, there is no competition among iOS browser engines, and Apple effectively dictates the capabilities that browsers on iOS can offer, the CMA stated in response to Apple's browser ban. In 2022, according to one of our sources who had input into a report submitted to the CMA, Apple will be obligated to open up to foreign browser engines on an almost complete basis. This is true not only in the United Kingdom, but also in other markets such as the United States. It is incredibly difficult for us to imagine a scenario in which third-party browsers are authorized on iOS in the United Kingdom without having a significant impact on other nations, they write. We expect you to follow suit in the United States, as security and privacy look to be in fine working condition in the United Kingdom, according to US regulators. The regulators said they don't see Apple raising a fuss about it. When it comes to Chrome users on iPhones, this could be a very interesting development to keep an eye on. Number 1. The crypto market will. Correct. It's unknown whether the cryptocurrency market, now known as Web3, has reached a market high comparable to 1999, or whether it is just getting started, similar to the web in 1993, or whether it is nearing a market peak comparable to 1999. A market correction is expected to occur in 2022, regardless of the outcome. Here's what we're thinking. As of right now, our biggest criticism of Web3 is that, aside from speculative tools such as cryptocurrency exchanges and NFT marketplaces, nothing meaningful has been produced using crypto and blockchain technologies. Web3's technical infrastructure is both defective and not as decentralized as many crypto proponents claim, and this is a problem for the entire cryptocurrency industry. On the other hand, this same logic might be used to support the 1993 comparison, when the web was still in its infancy and not ready to be adopted by the general public. However, given the scarcity of viable items in the Web3 market, we believe that the market's worth is currently excessively exaggerated. It's important to remember that the first wave of .com initial public offerings, IPOs, which began with Netscape, didn't begin until the second half of 1995. The time was at a stage at which web platforms were rapidly maturing and had garnered the interest, and fierce competition, of major technology companies such as Microsoft and Oracle. Who knows, maybe there's a Web3 counterpart to Netscape or Yahoo, perhaps it is Coinbase, but only because it is used by millions of individuals to speculate on cryptocurrencies, rather than for any other reason. All of this leads us to believe that the cryptocurrency and Web3 markets are ready for a correction in the coming year. If it evolves into a full-fledged crash, which is far more difficult to anticipate, but could occur, we'll be able to tell which Web3 companies are the genuine article. On the plus side, it's possible that there will be a future. What do you think about our video? Please let us know in the comments area below. If you enjoyed this video and would want to hear from me again, please subscribe and turn on the notification before leaving. Thank you for watching us.